I'm not going to waste no time getting into this video. We're going to jump straight into it. But before we do that, make sure y'all hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. Now, PBC, man, they finally came and made an announcement after waiting months and months on what PBC's next move was going to be once we found out that they was going with Amazon Prime. A lot of people had a lot of questions. Was all of their events going to be on pay-per-view? Or were they going to give us shows on Amazon Prime to everybody that's already signed up under Amazon Prime? Now, we know that the first event is going to be on pay-per-view. We got Keith Thurman. He already done uploaded and he talking shit, talking about he going to shock the world against Tim Tszyu, a young, undefeated, hungry lion. Then in the co-main event, we got Rolly versus Big Head Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Solid card, solid card. We also got all of the crybabies. They whining and crying, talking about, oh, why would they put junk like this on pay-per-view? This shouldn't be on pay-per-view. Why would PBC do the same thing that they've always been doing? And now, I'm not going to tell you if I disagree or I agree with it right now. But later on in the video, I'm going to give y'all my thoughts, and y'all know I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all 1,000%. But before I do that, I want to talk about Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman stepping in the ring with Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu has gotten better and better over the years. Tim Tszyu is now a seasoned vet. He a champion. You know, Jermell Charlo was supposed to fight him, but Jermell Charlo made the smart move for his pockets because he went and got that Canelo payday. So you can't blame Jermell Charlo for going to get a Canelo payday. Because let's keep it real. I had Jermell Charlo beating Tim Tszyu, but it wasn't a given. It was going to be a tough fight either way for Jermell Charlo. Tim Tszyu could have very well proved me wrong and been able to beat Jermell Charlo. Tim Tszyu ain't no pushover. That's one thing I'm going to keep it real about. He not no pushover. And Keith Thurman, man, it looks like that the PBC are setting him up on a dummy mission. Or did Keith Thurman do this to himself? Well, I more so believe that Keith Thurman did this to himself because we've heard time and time again Keith Thurman turning down names. Now, I don't know what happened with the Oogie situation. It was rumors that Keith Thurman started pricing himself out and they moved on and we saw Oogies go and fight Mario Barrios. Now, I don't know how true that is, right? But I do know that they presented Jerron Boots Ennis to Keith Thurman on several occasions, according to Bozy Ennis, and Keith Thurman refused to fight Jerron Ennis. Now, am I going to say that Keith Thurman was wrong for not wanting to fight Jerron Ennis coming off a layoff? Nah, I can see why he don't want no smoke with Jerron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? These fighters that's active, they don't even want smoke with Jerron Ennis. So Keith Thurman, with all the layoffs that he's had, of course, he ain't finna go in there and fight no Jerron Ennis. But Keith Thurman, one thing that everybody been saying about him, that he wants to make a whole lot of money. Keeps pricing himself out. So the PBC, they seem like they kind of fed up with Keith Thurman and all his demands, thinking that he's still that top guy when he's not no more, right? He's had too many layoffs. A lot of these boxing fans now that's come in the game, they don't even know who the hell Keith Thurman is. So they giving Keith Thurman one more last chance, but they giving him a very, very tough out. They giving him a very, very tough task, putting him in against Tim Tszyu at a weight division that Keith Thurman don't even campaign at. Now, it's not for the WBA strap. The WBA sanctioning body, they wouldn't sanction this bout, right? And it's going to take place at a catchweight. Now, a lot of people are already figuring that Keith Thurman, he could make weight. He couldn't make 147. He couldn't even make 154. So he got to fight at a catchweight. And I don't doubt that for 1 second because look at all the layoffs Keith Thurman been on. You know what I'm saying? He done got comfortable. He probably can't make the weight. Now, he'll probably tell you different. He'll probably tell you that he been working the whole time. But I know Keith Thurman, he on and off with this shit. He'll go months to where he will work and get ready. And then it looked like he ain't gonna get no fight. And then he started relaxing again. And he was probably relaxing when he got the call for this fight. And he probably told him, look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make 147. This is my weight, what I'm weighing at right now. Well, we'll give it to you at a catch weight. You're going to get your ass beat anyway. We tired of you. It looked like that they setting Keith Thurman up on a dummy mission. Or, like I said, he set himself up for all these layoffs, turning down fights in the background, demanding money that he's no longer worth. And Keith Thurman, he gonna go out there and this shit gonna get ugly for him. I don't see him beating Tim Tszyu. You can't continue to have layoff after layoff after layoff, and he coming in a bout like this where he don't even get a tune up. Now maybe if Keith Thurman had a fight in and then 3-4 months later he stepped in the ring against Tim Tszyu where he already got a tune up and he was sharp and active, maybe then I would pick Keith Thurman to be able to beat Tim Tszyu, but not now. Like I said, inactivity is a career killer, so he walking straight into a dummy mission. This is probably going to be the last that you see of Keith Thurman after he get his ass beat by Tim Tszyu, and he probably going to get stopped. Yeah, Keith is probably going to get stopped. And we see what PBC doing, right? It's kind of out with the old and in with the new talent. Keith Thurman was one of the original cats, you know, that was headlining on PBC back when PBC really popped out. Keith Thurman, Adrian Broner, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, and you know the rest. So Keith Thurman is like, man, out with the old and in with the new. It's new talent coming in now, and Keith Thurman and them, they the old guys. So I look at this as a farewell fight for Keith Thurman via the PBC. You know what I'm talking about? And then Tim Tszyu, hey, his name is going to get bigger. They're trying to build Tim Tszyu's name in America. That's what they're trying to do. Like I said, they're trying to build new talent. Putting him in with Keith Thurman that has a name. Now, I don't know how big Keith Thurman's name is now with these with these new boxing fans. It ain't nowhere near as big as it was at one point because out of sight, out of mind. But he still have a name. Put him in with Keith Thurman. He's going to look good, destroy Keith Thurman, and build his name in the U.S. so he can go on to fight an Errol Spence or a Terrence Crawford in some of the bigger names in his weight division, right? Or the guys that's going to move up to his weight division. Now, as far as the PBC putting this event on pay-per-view with the Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Rolly Romero fight, right? Do I think that they should have just had it on the subscription base where if you have a subscription to Amazon Prime, you can watch it? I think they should have did that, right? I don't think it should be on pay-per-view. Not that it's a horrible event and it's not worth paying for. It shouldn't be on pay-per-view because you want to start out giving fans that don't know about these fighters and don't know that PBC is on Amazon Prime and new fans, like you want to do what you need to do to build a whole new casual fan base to get new eyes on the sport. Ain't no new eyes coming in if they see an advertisement pop up with Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu and Rolly and Pitbull, and then they got to pay to see it, and they already subscribed to Amazon Prime. They're not going to pay to see this unless they're a diehard boxing fan. So you're doing the same shit that you've been doing on Showtime, making everybody pay each time you put on decent fights. And that's not a good business model in my opinion, right? I'm not gonna cry about it, right? I'm gonna support it, I'm gonna pay for it, but I'm a diehard boxing fan. See, the model I would think is to get a paying customer that wasn't paying for pay-per-views before, and the way to do that is to put them on a subscription base to where they can see them basically for free. You know what I'm saying? They can watch them if just as long as they subscribed already to Amazon Prime. They can watch this. They can learn about these new fighters. But see, you're not giving them a chance to do that. You're just expecting these people to pay for it like they already diehard boxing fans when that's not the case. So I don't think it's going to do well because it's probably still going to be the same price that you've been paying, especially when you factor it in with your subscription price that you're already paying. So it's the same model. It's just on a different platform. You need to change the model to be able to grow. Hopefully this is just a one-time thing, but I don't know, man, because when PBC came in and they was putting these fights on NBC and Fox and all, man, they was booming. They was booming. They was getting huge viewership numbers. They was getting new boxing fans. Everything was booming. And then they changed the model and they took everything to Showtime and started making everybody pay for pay-per-views and all that. And that's when everything started, to go down. The viewership numbers start to go down. But we'll see. I'm a supporter. Let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments. Make sure you hit my like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed, and y'all already know how I do. Tango talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
Roll minute, plus I'm rolling sticky. Hit the road with me, only push it to the 50, cruising through your city, super sharp.